Welcome, Mr. Dome, and welcome to this crypto update. Now, Bitcoin is basically at a decision time right now. So in my previous update, I told you guys that it's likely that Bitcoin would retrace back to 110K, and that's basically what happened already on Tuesday. And from here, we had a move back to the upside, and now we had another move to 110K. But this is now a danger area. So let me show you this trend line. So here, starting from that high until these lows, you can see we got a rejection once, twice, and now 3 times from this trend line here. So now it's a question if Bitcoin is able to actually hold this line here or not. But to be honest, it doesn't look absolutely great for Bitcoin. So let me first go to data. I'm not going to show you a lot of individual news in this video. And then at the end of the video, I will basically tell you what I am doing with my capital. But all in all, this is basically where Bitcoin is at, looking at the chart here. At decision time, basically either we go up or we basically dump. But now let me go to sentiment first. And here, the first bullish thing that we see is when we take a look at the supply of Bitcoin on exchange reserves. You can see that we saw a sudden moving out of exchanges of Bitcoin, but this is actually due to the fact that there was the capitulation event. So people basically started withdrawing capital away from exchanges to protect their capital, and also because of all of the liquidations, the people who basically stole the money from in those liquidations, basically moving money in their profits. So I wouldn't say this is a normal move, but if we zoom in, you can see that right now, basically starting from Tuesday, Bitcoin has started to enter into exchanges once again. So this is actually a bearish signal. So at face value, it looks like, okay, things are beautiful, Bitcoin is leaving exchanges. But if we take a look at the last 2 days of moves, we have seen Bitcoin entering into exchanges, which is not great. Then to contrast that, when we take a look at the stablecoin market cap, you can see that it continues to grow exponentially. And this is fundamentally speaking good. It means more value is running on blockchain technology, which makes blockchain and crypto more valuable as a whole. So this is actually a good fundamental indicator, but it doesn't really give us signals on the short term. But fundamentally speaking, it looks good. Now, this is where things get really weird. So when we take a look at the dormant circulation 365, 90 days, and 3 years, we're not seeing old whales sell massively, but we do see huge spikes here in Bitcoin that hasn't been moved for over 90 days or over 1 year, which is the yellow line here. So when we look at the numbers here, you can see basically on October 14th, the orange line shows 50,000 Bitcoin. Then on Wednesday, you see 70,000 Bitcoin on the orange line. And then today is 12,000 Bitcoin, which is already quite a lot. But this is a huge spike of Bitcoin currently being moved, even at these lows. Now, not always is this an indicator that Bitcoin will continue to the downside. Like here, this is basically a false signal. Bitcoin just entered into strong hands in this case. And here, basically the same thing. This kind of showed slowing down. This was actually a sell signal here. So it doesn't necessarily mean that Bitcoin is about to dump, but if I overlay the exchange inflow, so this is simply showing all the Bitcoin that is entering into exchanges, and I show you this. Now suddenly the story changes completely, because what we see here is actually a lot of deposits of Bitcoin onto exchange balances. So even though we see overall the net flow is slightly upwards after the move away from exchanges, we're still seeing a lot of profit taking on Bitcoin. And as you can see, this has actually sped up significantly going into these latest moves here. So this is telling me that people still want to exit their Bitcoin positions and they are taking profits aggressively. So I would advise caution here, because this could actually mean that we simply go lower. So this is one of the most bearish indicators that I was able to basically see here. And then also when we take a look at different wallet sizes, we take a look at the yellow line, which is 100 to 1000 Bitcoin holding wallets. These are actually your institutional holders. They have added a little bit here, but then at these lows, they started to sell a little bit again. So a little bit of indecision on this part. However, when we hop over to bitcointreasuries.net and we take a look at how many entities are using the Bitcoin Treasury strategy, and this has increased to 349 entities since my last update. That is 5 more, and the total amount of Bitcoin on exchange balance, on the balances of ETF providers and on the balances of different custodians and Bitcoin reserve strategy companies, that has seen an increase of 30,000 Bitcoin. So whales are basically selling. It is entering into institutional hands. But if the buy pressure cannot outpace the amount of sell pressure here, then obviously the direction is actually to the downside. So that is currently the case with Bitcoin. And I don't know about you guys. Obviously, this could be just my PTSD from the flash crash, but Bitcoin did not crash a lot yet. So when we go over to the daily view here, you can see the first time when we basically went over to 100K, we hovered sideways for a while. We had this flash crash to the downside. Then we basically retraced the whole move back to the upside, and then we went sideways for a while, and then the actual crash actually happened. And this is basically from 100K, we saw a drop of 22% to the downside, basically back to the trend line here. So right now we are inside this channel, so I would not be surprised to see something like this again. That this was the first flash crash, but we go for another leg to the downside. That's kind of currently where I think Bitcoin might go. Now, it's not that terrible. Currently, we're looking at the Binance price. The Bitcoin price actually went all the way down to 102K in some exchanges. So a complete retrace basically back to this trend line here wouldn't make me too surprised. But in the short term, how I'm currently positioned is I'm in stable coins as of now. But if Bitcoin breaks above 112K, then I will buy back into Bitcoin, because that would signal a breakout of this structure. And also I have basically my buy orders at $103,000 right about here to basically scout the low of that wick that we saw on some exchanges. So I have conditional orders. If we have a breakout to the upside, then I will catch that move. If we have the move to the downside, then I will buy there. And that's basically my my current idea, is that right now it is extremely dangerous to long Bitcoin. You could actually short Bitcoin here if you have your stop loss basically above 112K, right above this wick here. So you could obviously do that as well if you feel like shorting Bitcoin as well. Now going into short-term fundamentals as well on the CoinAnk, looking at the liquidation heat map. Let's go to shorter time frames to see if we see anything too crazy or interesting here. We're seeing on aggregated spot order book depth, we're seeing the order books starting to fill with buy orders. Now, it doesn't always mean that we have a bounce, but there's currently $100 million more buy limit orders within a 3% move from the current price point than there are sell orders. So that is giving us some sort of a support at least, and the futures markets also signal more buy limit orders at this price level. So it would take taker sell pressure to basically go through here, limit buy orders are supporting the current price range. So in the like short-term fundamentals on this sense actually favor being bullish. That's why I'm basically taking both sides of the trade. Now, on the liquidation heat map, you can see that there's actually quite a bit of liquidations here, stretching from $116,000 to basically 120K. So if we go and take out these longs, then we actually might establish ourselves somewhere if we go all the way up here. This would basically be your profit taking area, and then it's likely that we have a move to the downside afterwards. So that's basically the two ideas I currently have, basically down here and then up, or we go to 116 between 120K, and then we have another move to the downside afterwards after the whales take profits, like we're currently seeing that they really like to take their profits at this moment in time. So that's basically the update I had for you guys today on Ethereum though. I did see more Ethereum entering into ETFs and more Ethereum entering into Ethereum reserve companies. So Bitmine Immersion Tech actually bought 202,000 Ethereum since my last update as well. So a significant move. Now there are 5.9 million Ethereum in these strategic reserve companies. That is an increase of 300,000 Ethereum since my last update. 400,000 Ethereum increase since my last update. So that is a significant increase as well. So a lot of demand from institutions, but large whales are unfortunately still on the sell side. So we could see that basically a full retrace of the previous week here back to basically 103, 102K. That is an option. If we have a breakout from here, then I will try to basically catch this move on the way up. That's basically my ideas for you guys in this update. That's it. Thanks for watching, guys. And by the way, if you want to learn how to use bots in your trading, there's a free bot that I made some tutorials on, so I highly recommend watching that video. It is linked somewhere in the description if you want to do that and learn about bot trading. That's it. Thanks for watching, and bye bye.